I'm Steve from This Week with Cars, and I'm about to go and look at a pretty neat barn find. Driving my Austin Healy 100. Okay, it's been a couple days and here they are. I got them all moved back to my shop. I knew that I wanted them, so I haven't taken a look at them yet. I just loaded them up and shipped them back here. It's pretty neat to have found 6 Frogeyes all parked in a row. These cars have been sitting for approximately 30 years without moving. I think what we should do is number these cars, that way we can keep track of them. So I'll just call this one number 1. 2, 3. This will be number 4. 5 and 6. One neat thing is you can see I have hard tops on 4 of these cars. I believe these 3 are actual factory BMC hard tops. Let's give each car a look over and then decide what we can do with these today. Under the bonnet of car 1, looks very complete. Missing the ducting for the heater. But other than that, looks like it's all there under the bonnet here. A little bit of rust by the battery. That's pretty typical on these cars. Someone's added some air horns to it. On the inside, this was a red on red car. Someone has added red carpeting to it. And the dashboard is a red vinyl. Also has the original radio over there. And this one has a red hardtop. Oh, and I should also note, front bumpers were optional. And this car does have a front bumper. Car number 2 also has a front bumper. Let's take a look under the bonnet. Okay, that one was quite difficult to lift up. Someone has stolen the stays that would hold the bonnet up when you lift it up, so I had to use the prop rod. Stays are these things on the side. When you lift it up, it latches. Lift it up again, allows you to close the bonnet. So underneath this one, you can see we have a mouse nest there. The regulator should be in that location. There's no longer a regulator there. Underneath the bonnet, this one does look pretty original. It's missing some hoses, the heater hoses, radiator hoses. Does have the original air cleaner still. Let's check out the inside. This car is also red on red. Looks like that's some of the original rubber mat back there. It's missing on the transmission tunnel on the floor. And the dashboard is red on this one. And it also has the original radio. You can see the soft top and the side curtains there. Looks like everything is there on the back. And this one has a black hard top on it. Here's car number 3. I'm going to have to scoot car number 1 and 2 forward a little bit to get the next 2 open. I'll be back in a second. Here's under the bonnet of car number 3. It's missing the air cleaners. That's not a good thing. That has allowed things to get inside of the engine. Hopefully it's not too bad. Mouse nest over here again. All the hoses appear to be there. This is a pretty complete car. Let's take a look inside. Side curtains are on it. This one has a black interior with a black dash. Looks like someone has put black carpeting in it. And this one has a white hardtop on it. It's a pretty nice car. Car number 4. Looks pretty complete inside. Looks like all it's missing is the radiator cap, one heater hose there from the heater control valve, and a battery. Car number 3 and 4 also had the front bumpers on it. This one has a soft top on it, so that's good. We know that still fits. Interior on this one is black, and again, someone's added black carpeting to it. There's the backs of cars 3 and 4. Pretty complete. Both have the Sprite logos on the back. And here's cars 5 and 6. Neither of these have the front bumper on it. Car 5 has a red hardtop. Car 6 has a soft top on it. Car 5 is missing the drivetrain, but that's okay. I have several sitting around, and I did get several engines with these cars. Maybe I'll find a lot of the parts sitting inside it here. You can see the side curtains. Looks like this car is also red on red, has red seats. They actually look like they're in really nice condition. And a red dashboard. Doesn't look like it has any floor coverings on it. You can see the soft top is right there. And lastly, we have car number 6 here. It didn't have the bonnet stays for the bonnet, and it also didn't have the prop either, so had to stick a board in there. There's a pretty strange color theme going on in here. The engine is a very weird teal, although it looks pretty original. And it looks like the car could have been green, but that doesn't look like an original color of green either. Surprisingly, with as bad as it looks on the outside, it actually looks like it's in pretty good shape. Looks like the hinges are also painted yellow for some reason. And the bonnet is just in red primer. On the inside of the car, these are not the correct seats. Not sure what that seat is from. You can see some side curtains there. Has a wood laminate on the dashboard. And a non-standard racing type wheel there. It does have the soft top on it. Round on the back. Pretty original. There's the other car there. It's missing some taillights. Has a strange hardtop on it. I'm not sure what this hardtop is. It is fiberglass with a real glass window in the back. This might go to a Mark I midget. I'm not sure. If anyone knows what this hardtop is, comment below. You can see car number 6 was last being run with snow tires on it. So it was obviously driving around in about 1978 in the Iowa winters. Set of hubcaps there. Another convertible top. Here is actually a second one of those weird seats. Be interesting to see what that goes to. If anyone can recognize that already, comment below. It looks like all of these cars are pretty much in the same shape, except for car number 5 down there that does not have an engine in it. So I guess I'll just start with car number 1. It does have a flat tire. I did see that there was a spare in the car, so I'm going to start with taking the spare out, cleaning the car out. Let's get the spare on, and let's see how far to running and driving I can make this today. I don't even know what some of the stuff in this car is. You can tell door hasn't been open in a very long time. So I wonder what's in these boxes. looks like a carpet kit. Let's see. Looks like it was bought quite a few years ago. Not sure where it came from, but yeah, it looks like that's a carpet kit. Actually, it says J.C. Whitney on these boxes, so these are J.C. Whitney carpet kits, hopefully for bug-eyed sprites. It's probably been a very long time since you could order those from their catalog. There's a pile of old registrations over there. Side curtains in very good shape. Looks like I have plenty of wiper arms and blades. This car does need them. Look at this. It's an old bottle of Castrol GT LMA brake fluid. Unfortunately, Castrol quit making this a couple years ago. Obviously, this can is very old, $2.70. This can could be older than I am. Let's see what else is back here. It's like the accelerator pedal, thermostat. It looks like those are knobs that were on the side curtains. It's like someone put those knobs there on those side curtains. Right, looks like this is a tonneau cover for this car. Looks like there's an extra shock sitting in the spare tire there. Not sure why that's in here. It looks like the jack and the tool bag is still in the trunk. Not sure what this is. Maybe this is some kind of tire tie down that someone made. Okay, let's get this tire and wheel out of here. See if it holds any air. So here's the spare that I pulled out of the back of the boot. You can see this is a Dunlop Gold Seal. This is the original tires for these cars. I actually have a bunch of sets of these that are still in good shape. In fact, here's one right here that was kept inside. Looks almost brand new still, as does the wheel. You see, this is a Dunlop Gold Seal. It says made in England right there. These are a good tire to have around because if you want to show the cars at a Concours event, you need to have sets of these original tires around. Even if you put them on wheels that you use only for the show and not for driving around on the street. I was just cleaning up all the paperwork on the driver's side, and look at this. Hopefully that fits the ignition. Looks like it does. Looks like the switch is a bit sticky. It's a little creature that died down there. Here's what it looks like now, all cleaned out. Obviously still very dirty. This is something that I can work with. I was just about to stand up and notice someone, unfortunately, got into the corner of the bonnet there and didn't make it back out. Let's check and see what the dipstick looks like. It's got oil in it. Needs to have a quarter more of oil in it. So I'll get that topped off. And then we'll keep looking at this thing. This car does have a battery in it. Obviously, that battery is probably ruined. So I'm just gonna pull it out and put a new battery in here. Then we'll see what happens. I have a new battery installed. Let's go inside and see if anything happens. Okay, let's turn the key to the on position. Want to try doing that without turning the lights on. There we go. The ignition light did come on. It's strange that it's green. I always see these as red. See if the engine turns. Actually, the engine sounds pretty good. Even the fuel gauge worked. Turning that on and off. Of course, you don't know if that's accurate or not. These cars have mechanical fuel pumps that feed the carburetors. You can see the pump down there. The line on the left goes up to the carburetors. The line on the right comes from the fuel tank. I don't know if this pump works anymore, and if it does, I don't want it pumping old gas through the carburetor. So I'm going to take this junction off right here and hook that up to a gas bottle so that I can have the carburetors running on good fuel. Okay, I have this jug of fuel now hooked up to the inlet on the carburetors. Let's just open up the valve and see what happens. I don't hear anything. I don't hear the floats filling up. I think gas is flowing through. Let's move on to the next problem, which would be spark. Okay, I want to connect my spark tester. See if the ignition is working at all. Now with the ignition switch on, I can pull on the starter. There was the slightest of sparks there, so the ignition is working. It's not super strong, but it is working. Okay, I have fuel and I have spark. Let's see what happens. See if the choke will pull out. There we go. Hit the start button. It's always hard to get the car started for the very first time because it doesn't have the best compression with all the dirt and dust and corrosion that has gotten on things, especially the valves. But I think it's going to start. And there it goes. The throttle pedal does work, though it's a little hard for it to return. Either the throttle's a little sticky or it needs better springs, but it is working. You can see the rust that blew out of the exhaust there. Very typical. I'm surprised there wasn't mouse nests that blew out. Number 1 is running. Looks like there's a bit of a water leak in this hose here. Don't see any fuel leaks or oil leaks. See if there's any fluid in the brake reservoir. Nope, bone dry. So I'm not even going to attempt to press that. Since I know the clutch and brake don't work, we'll see if it'll start in gear and see if I can drive it out of the shop. Well, I think it cleaned up even better than I thought it would. That's a pretty respectable looking Frogeye Sprite now. Paint will be needed to be cleaned up for sure. Still need to clean the interior up a bit. I'll need to get those screws that hold the windscreen on. I think that was a pretty big success for number 1. If you want to see me get more of these cars running, or if you think they should have just gone to the scrap heap, comment below and click subscribe.